Apostle?
I'm sorry. Jack Daniels, 9 verse 1.
I got it. Revelation 9 and 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
You can break it down as you read it.
Yeah, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. Now that's talking about Kaiser Wilhelm, right? Who right around that time, that's when World War I came into being. World War I, right? What was it? Duke of how'd that war pop off? The Duke of
Austria was it?
Austria.
Oh yeah, Austrian prince.
Yeah. He got killed, and that precipitated World War I. Right. Reading on, it says, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit, and like you said, the bottomless pit is
Original 12 tribes of Israel. Original 12 tribes.
You have to find it. This is like the one you want to find.
Yep.
Where you from? Where you from?
Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Issachar.
Oh, where you?
Must be like the.
I thought they were like French or something.
I thought.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, Israelites.
Oh yeah. She got that spunk.
Ain't no doubt about it.
No doubt about it. No about the doubt.
Yep, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. Now that's where the bottomless pit represents Europe, and even the madman said that. What's his name? They got that from One West.
Yeah, because we watched the video. We're like the Sentinels, man. You know, we watched the video. We listened to the video this morning. We did a video. Somebody asked a question concerning Revelation, the 9th chapter, in the 1st verse. But we're gonna go into the whole thing. And by the time we finish, we'll be closing up. It's almost excuse me. So I see. That's what. Look, to the rest of y'all in GMS, why do I keep saying y'all got to get back into the breakdown?
Yep.
Because these other camps don't know the breakdowns, man. And this is the thing that keep you sharp. Now it's obvious that Captain Desariak didn't know Revelation, the 9th chapter.
Yeah,
it almost seemed like he was making it up as he was going along, man.
I just want to
verse 2, and he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit. Like I said, the smoke represents World War I. Okay, that's basically what Revelation 9 is going into. It's going into, in a metaphoric form, it's going into World War I. Because you know what proved that? If you keep reading, it says, as a matter of fact, if I can just jump down to, just to prove that point. The same chapter, Revelation 9. When you go down to the 12th verse, it says, one woe is past. So what does that mean, one woe? Meaning World War I came and went. World War I is past. And that's from the first verse to the 11th verse are metaphors describing what? World War I. Like when you go into the locust, it's not talking about
not the venomous locust.
Yeah. You went off on that, bro. You went off big time. But guess what? GMS is here
to set it right.
Set the record straight.
Set the record straight.
So anyway, and see, you got to think, when you're reading it, you got to think like Apostle John, because Apostle John is seeing this in the vision.
And he's describing it according to what he knows.
Right. Right. Of course, he's not going to put World War I planes that resemble locusts.
What do you call them? Dog fights.
Yeah, dog fight. You're right. He's not going to write that.
You saw the Red Baron up there with a shotgun. Yeah, because the Red, before they had the
Red Baron.
the gunner thing, they had shotguns. They were up in there with shotguns, bam,
killing each other.
Then some German, say the smartest of the Edomites, they said, let's put a thing in the back, machine gun,
and that's the scorpion.
That's the scorpion.
Because the scorpion stinks from the back and the front.
One West didn't break it down. Now you guys talk about 1969, One West with the original. The original One West didn't break it down the way you broke it down.
That's it.
Right.
That's why we got to go over it.
Yep. And then where was Yahawashi to correct this guy? That shows you Yahawashi is a fucking Highland.
Yahawashi don't know what his damn self.
He's a Highland. anything, man. He's just there to collect,
collect.
ring the cash register, cha-ching, and collect money.
And hop his mind back.
Yeah.
Down the road.
And eat fried chicken with orange juice.
Damn.
Macaroni and cheese.
Mac
Go
and
ahead.
cheese.
And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit. The smoke
Now you
of-
got that right. You
Yep.
got the pit.
Yeah, you got the pit right.
Being
Right.
Europe.
Right.
Yeah, the smoke
But then
represents.
you went left.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Come on, let's go.
There arose a smoke out of the pit.
We ain't got that much time.
And the smoke was the disasters that were happening. You know.
During World War One.
Yeah.
The bombs exploding.
The bombs exploding, shooting
Yeah,
each other. The planes.
Now y'all mentioned about the guy at the back of the plane. You had the guy with the gun. You know what they were called? They were called tail gunners.
Tail gun.
That's what they were called. That's what they were called.
The scorpion. They
Right.
had the tails.
And then you had the that was in World War
What
II.
John
nigga.
saw was World War I taking place.
Right.
Exactly.
And he saw the dog fighters.
Right.
All
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
He probably saw the Red Baron up there. There you go. There you go.
Get a picture of a World War I plane.
Okay.
You got a shotgun in that picture, right?
Yeah.
Yep. He got shot. He got an actual shotgun.
And if you get a picture of a World War I plane, you'll see it looks like a locust.
Yeah.
All right? I'll just keep reading. As the smoke of a great furnace, World War I.
Boom.
And the sun and the air was darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. That's usually what happens when you have a world war going.
Right. Because
Yeah, he said the smoke represents Esau
Yeah.
blinding us. No. The smoke of the pit represents there were war.
right.
When things explode,
Right.
planes crash, you got smoke
coming up.
billowing from the plane, man.
Now was that World War I or World War II where England got hammered?
Or the Blitz?
The
That
Blitz.
was World War II.
World War II. Okay.
World War II. Yeah. Blitz.
Now look at this.
I was during the time of this guy, alcohol.
Yeah. Churchill.
He was hiding, you know.
Right.
This is a World War II plane, and that looks like a locust straight up.
Yep.
They
No, it's a World War I plane. You said World War II.
I'm sorry. It's a World War I plane, but it looks like a straight up locust.
Go ahead. Yep.
Show the
And that's
camera.
why John said it was a locust.
It looks like a locust here.
The way
The head.
he saw a locust.
Yeah.
He saw a locust in the air.
Right.
He saw the tail gun in the back.
Right.
Shooting things at people.
Right.
You know.
So he had to explain it with the
They had to
terminology.
explain it. He said, "Well, there goes a locust."
It looks
Right.
looks like a locust.
Yep. The third verse. And there came.
Because if you had kept reading, that's why you said what you said. That's all you want is
Verse 1.
Verse 1.
Yeah.
You would hope you were going to go deep.
Yeah.
Okay, we caught that, bro. We caught that, man.
Yeah, it'll be
You were
Because
reading
as
it,
you
son.
read now, it said that the locust had hair on woman. So what the hell does that mean?
Oh, man.
Huh?
No.
They were venomous.
Drag
locusts,
queens.
Which that were drag queens. Who called venomous locusts?
Oh Lord, no.
Come on.
Third verse. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the
Smoke
earth.
meaning the war.
Right.
Smoke signifying war.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because when John has seen it, he's seen the war. He's seen the bombs explode.
Right.
He's seen the fire and all that. Then all of a sudden he sees the locusts.
Right.
What is the locust? He just showed you.
The plane.
It's a dog fight.
Yep.
And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. And unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. Now, where does a scorpion have its power? In its tail.
It's stinger.
So where's
Which is behind it.
That's right.
You know?
Where did the locusts get their power or have their power? At the back of the plane. That's where the tail gunner was. He's called a tail gunner. Why is he called a tail gunner? Because he's at the back of the plane and he's manning the gun.
Right.
Guess what? You had two people on that plane.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
At first you had one, then you had two.
Yep, fourth verse. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth. Oh, I could have tried to imagine this guy break that down. And it was commanded them. That's why he said, look,
Let's move on. Next question.
Next question.
We catch everything, man. Hey, but don't read that again. Don't read that again.
And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth.
Now he said something, I forget what he said.
Oh, no.
He said some slick shit.
Oh no.
What does it mean? Well, first of all, what do locusts eat? They eat grass, right?
Yeah,
they eat leaves.
right.
They eat greenery. They eat,
Oh yeah, he did
you know,
say that. Yeah,
from the trees.
Yeah,
you know, from crops.
Yeah.
That's what locusts do, right?
Yeah.
So John was noticing that the locust wasn't destroying the green and the trees and all that, and the leaves. It wasn't shooting at that.
Right.
Why? Because they were not locusts.
Right.
They were shooting men.
Right.
You see a man running between the trees, and they shooting him down, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of the power in their forehead.
What did the seal mean? Did it mean the mark of the beast?
No.
The seal meaning you are one of the elect.
Right.
I'm not going to have you die because you're going to have sex with a woman to have a son, and he's going to have sex with a woman to have another son because the generation going down, he's going to be one of the elect.
Out of your line.
So there were certain situations where you had men that wouldn't there.
Right. They wouldn't.
All my people get killed, man. It seems like I should be killed.
Yeah.
You know?
They call it survivor's guilt. I believe it's
survivor's
called.
guilt.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that was because the Lord had a shield, a protection over them. Not to
Because
get shot.
their lineage would bring forth the elect.
That's it.
And you know what that proves? That a lot of them were Germans and some were Americans.
Right.
And a lot of them so-called Edomites, so we think Edomites are actually Jakes.
Right.
There's a scripture in the Apocrypha where the Lord said, with great labor have I kept my grape.
Yeah.
With great labor have I kept my grape.
Right.
The grape being a metaphor for the elect.
Protection.
That's an example of the great labor. The Lord had to make sure, the angels make sure that this guy don't get killed, and make sure his lineage goes on to bring forth the elect.
Yeah.
So that took great labor.
It speaks about the angels encamping
Around.
out there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Like even with this guy, was it George Washington that guy was shooting?
Yeah, they would kill
They couldn't hit him.
They couldn't hit him.
And they were
On both sides,
yeah, the chief said that they were
Same
excellent.
thing with Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson.
The guy that was going to, I forget the guy's name, that was going to kill him for the bankers. He shot 2 guns and both of them misfired.
Yeah, another example is the top banking families of today. They can't die. They cannot die. Do you know why they can't die? Because
that's easy.
Yeah, they have
into captivity.
Right, Psalm 149. How can we put chains on them and fetters of iron if they're dead? They can't die. The Lord is protecting them. They're preserved. Just like these individuals back here were preserved, so they could bring forth the seed of the elect. That's the explanation of it. Going down to the 5th verse, and to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. Now, that's going into the much suffering of World War I. There was we were going into it a while back. I think it was a video where they were showing you had a lot of injuries, World War I, and people desired to die, and you had something called a shell shock. They had pictures of people shell shocked.
Some of them had lost both of their arms and legs, and they were sitting up miserable, and they wanted to kill themselves, but they couldn't kill themselves because they couldn't use their arms.
Right.
That lesson the Spirit had us do years ago on Revelation 9, we went all into the different stuff. That was a bad breakdown.
That was a good video.
Yeah, there was a lot of terror in World War I. A lot of people were, like I said,
they didn't have the morphine and
They didn't have the
anesthetic system.
Right.
So they caught fucking hell.
and shrapnel.
Pain so bad they wanted to die.
they had to drink liquor to numb themselves.
Before they would amputate your leg, they make you drink liquor and bite down on a stick.
Yeah.
So they said, fuck this, I want to die, man.
Yeah.
Shrapnel.
But they couldn't die because they were all messed up. They didn't have the power to kill themselves.
And that's what Apostle John saw. He saw the faces of those people.
Right.
You know, you got to remember, it was like Apostle John was looking at a movie.
Well, they had their faces blown off too.
They had their
Well, they
faces
had this
blown
one
off.
woman make like what do you call that, paper mache type of thing, and paint the face, and they would put it on. They had this whole shit going, and they would put the face on to make it look like the guy.
Damn. Yeah, they suffered like hell in World War I. That's what John saw. The next verse, 6th verse. And in those days shall men seek death. Why? Because they were suffering. And shall not find it. And shall desire to die. And death shall flee from them. Why would they desire to die? Because they were in a bad way.
They want to get out of that pain.
Yeah.
That pain of World War II.
Yep. And 7th verse. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle.
Hold on, where you ever see a locust built like a horse?
Right.
It ain't a horse. Horse represent power. The
Yeah.
locust was an actual dog fighter.
And locusts don't go to battle. They just eat crops.
They eat crops.
Yeah.
When you go up a couple of verses back, it said they didn't touch the greenery, man.
And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were, as it were, crowns of gold, crowns like gold.
Hold up, wait a minute, man. These ferocious, venomous locusts had crowns on their head?
Gold?
They had gold crowns on their head? But no locusts, man.
Yeah.
They were dog fighters.
Right.
Right.
The helmet, the sun shining on off their.
The sun gleaming off of the
helmet. Yeah.
And on the heads were, as it were, crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men.
Wait a minute. The locusts had faces of men?
Killer locusts.
Killer locusts.
So John didn't see locusts with a face like a man. John saw a dog fighter with a man in the cockpit.
Right. And that's why he said the face of a man. They had the helmet.
They had the helmet.
Yeah, with the spike. One of those helmets had the spike.
Yeah, they had the spike.
Yeah.
With the hair coming out.
Coming out,
Go ahead.
And they had hair as the hair of women,
That's it.
and their teeth were as the teeth of lions.
Wait a minute, man. Ain't no locust got teeth like lions.
Man, that's a
The teeth as like unto lion. I'm talking about the bullets that they would shoot.
yeah. That's a hell of a locust, man.
Cutting people to pieces. Those bullets were cutting people to pieces.
Shaped like a horse, venomous.
Yeah.
Got teeth like lion. God damn.
And they had breastplates, 9th verse, and they had breastplates, as it were, breastplates of iron. That's the encasing of the plane.
Yeah.
And the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots,
Right.
of many horses
And
running.
if you watch some ancient movies of
Right.
the chariots made a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Because I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was before the mufflers.
Of course.
Yeah,
So
so-
when you heard the dog fighters, you would hear. You know.
Many horses.
And then the plane was rickety too.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. And they had breastplates, as it were, breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots, of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions. Now we already explained that.
Right.
As you said, the tail gun.
Yep.
And there were stings.
Stings.
Oh, I'm sorry. And there were stings in their tails.
Stings of what? The bullets that were coming from the
Shotgun.
Not the shotgun, the machine gun.
Machine gun. Right, because that was like fast paced.
Yep.
And their power was to hurt men 5 months.
And the 5 months really represent 5 years.
Yep.
World War II. What years was it?
1914.
1914 and 1919. Right? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
For 5 years, which is say 5 months.
Yep.
And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit.
So who's that king?
Kaiser
Wilhelm.
Yeah, Kaiser Wilhelm. Yeah.
I believe that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's Kaiser Wilhelm the First. If I'm not mistaken.
And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abad.
Abad meaning destroyer.
But in the Greek tongue have his name Apollyon.
Apollyon meaning destroyer.
Then it says, one woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter.
Find out if this guy needs you to move your car. Okay.
And that's a super clue. That lets you know that the previous verses were talking about World War I, because it says, one woe is past. One war meaning what? World War One. Now, as you read on, it goes into World War II. Because then it says, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. What are the two woes?
He's good.
What are the two woes? World War II and then World War III. Yep. That's why, if you go in the previous...
Yeah, he had a lot of people there.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah, man.
Now see, if, what's his name? Captain Tazariak, if you would have read Revelation 8 and 13, he would have got the understanding, because Revelation 8 and 13 says, the chapter before it says, the angel was flying and said, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth. What
By
does that
reason
mean?
of the three angels that are yet
By
to sound.
right. So what is that woe, woe, woe? World War I, World War II, World War III. So now as you read on, the 9th chapter goes into World War I.
Right.
It's a metaphor for World War I. He didn't know that. That's why he was winging it.
Yeah,
He was crazy right now.
He was hoping the guy that said, if you break down Revelation 9 and 1, he was glad that the guy didn't say that you break down the whole chapter.
Yeah, he said, that's all you want? That's all you want?
That's all the other one?
That's all you want? All right, let's move on. I found out why dogfighters wore the scarf. It said hair like women.
Yeah.
The scarf flapping in the wind. It says, why did World War I pilots wear silk scarves? It says a silk scarf filters most of the castor oil out. I guess from the airplane.
Yeah, because you had oil. There was no mud and clay.
Yeah.
Oil jumping all over the place.
Yeah, it was rough.
Huh?
Damn.
Most I put a rough skirt on them goddamn Germans, man.
Yeah, they ain't have no cockpit, shield and shit, nothing. It was
Read,
leaking.
Revelation 8:13. And I beheld, who's the speaking John, and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound.
That's right.
So now that's the last verse of the Revelation, the 8th chapter. So now it goes into what? Revelation, the 9th chapter. And now the first woe is being explained, which is World War I. That's how you break it down.
Second run, you can call it.
Okay.
So that was pretty much Revelation 9 for World War I. You want me to keep reading?
Yeah, keep reading.
Okay.
The rings, the noise the rings make. See? All praises to Yahawashi, Yahawashi.